Yes.
Okay, great. California is a two-party state, which means that anybody who's on electronic communication at any time that's being recorded must consent. And the way that you consent is by staying. And the way you fail to consent is by leaving. So today we're going to talk about slam bidding, and I think it will be a lot of fun. We're going to focus on something that is generally known as 1430 or 1430, and we'll master it because it's straightforward. So let me dive in. Where the heck are we? Holy smoke, week 24. And where do we go from here? Week 1. And as I've said before, my mom must have said secondhand low literally 1,000 times. And so the idea is we work through the curriculum and then we come back and then we work through it again. And we hear things over and over again, and they continue to solidify, and things that didn't stick before stick. And that's the only way I learn, is via repetition.
So is there a class next Tuesday?
There will be, but the topic is TBD.
Okay.
And no matter what, it's going to be fun.
Yes, it's always fun. It's probably going to be around planning the play of a hand. You know, you count winners in no trump and you count losers in a suit contract. So that's always a good reminder. So that's probably what we'll do next week. And then the week of the 29th and the week of the 5th, we're off. Correct, Deborah?
Correct.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So I wanted to start out with motivation for asking about key cards. You know, sometimes we see a convention or an agreement or something and you say, oh my God, that would never happen. Why do I waste my memory on that? So this is an actual hand from Saturday that Dana and I played. Actually, I changed one card, but it's essentially an actual hand. So suppose you hold this collection of cards. You've got a lovely spade suit, you got a lovely heart suit, you have really interesting distribution, and you're sitting there in third seat, and shockingly, partner bids one spade. So we have two questions in the bidding, right? We're trying to answer two questions: what suit and how high? So after partner opens one spade, what suit do you want to play in?
Spades.
Yeah, pretty clearly you got at least an 11 card fit. How high do you want to go?
Maybe more than 4.
Yeah, maybe more than game. It certainly looks like you ought to make game. So let's think for a minute about these 4 cards: the king of spades, the ace of hearts, the ace of clubs, and the ace of diamonds. And remember, you have an 11 card spade fit, so they only have 2 spades. What's going to happen if partner holds all 4 of those cards?
Slam.
How many tricks are you going to take?
Possibly all of them.
7.
All 13.
Yeah.
All 13.
You have a potential diamond loser, potential club loser, potential heart loser. Those are all covered. You maybe a potential spade loser, but they only have 2. So you'll play the ace in one round, king the other. You can take 13 tricks. What if partner has 3 of them? Maybe they're missing the ace of diamonds. So you might lose a diamond.
Small
That
slam.
might start out by taking
Small
a
slam.
diamond. So you take 12 tricks. What if partner has only 2 of them? Maybe you're missing the ace of hearts and the ace of clubs. No slam, right? So you want to not go above 5, and if partner had only 1, you wouldn't even want to go above 4. Partner's probably got more than 1 bid. Heck, how the heck could she make an opening bid? But So you know spades, and you don't know how high. But if you knew the answer to this question, if you knew how many of these cards, they're called key cards, the king of trumps and the aces, if you knew how many partner had, then you could place the contract, right?
Mhm.
If
Right.
and I used to have one of the Dick Van Dyke pictures, where Dick says, honey, how many key cards do you have? And he says, oh, wait, I can't say that out loud. So you have to have a way in bridge language to ask the question. And that's what we're going to look at today. That's what 1430 is all about. So this will be fun. I did want to remind you that playing a slam is often easy. It's often nerve-wracking.
Mhm.
So let's look at some easy examples. Suppose you're West and you're declaring 6 hearts. Let's just take a look at it. I mean, if I just start counting tricks, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got 13 tricks off the top if they don't take their ace of clubs. So I'm going to take 12 or 13 tricks. Was that hand hard to play?
No.
No. And one of the reasons that playing slams is often easy is you usually don't bid them unless you got a lot of really good stuff. Let's look at this one. And you can tell that I'm using images here from things that happened online, right? Let's take a look at this one. How about 6 spades by West? Let's count losers. No spade losers. The ace king of hearts covered the 2 little hearts. No heart losers. You're missing the king of diamonds, so maybe a diamond loser. And the ace of clubs covers one of these, but you have maybe a club loser. So you have 2 potential losers, but it's pretty easy. You'll just call trump, and then you'll play that ace of clubs, king of clubs, and you'll rough a club over here, and your club loser went away, and then you'll try a diamond finesse. So if the diamond finesse works, you'll take 13, otherwise you'll take 12. Pretty straightforward hands to play, but why is it nerve-wracking? And the best metaphor I have is baseball. It feels like it's high stakes, right? It's the middle of the season and you're at bat and the guy throws a pitch and you just hammer it down the line for a stand-up double, okay? Now, let's move to the World Series. It's the bottom of the 9th and the pressure's on. Oh, oops, a swing and a miss because he felt so much pressure, and it's really tiny, but it's important to notice his tongue. He's kind of sticking his tongue out there. So here he's confident and he's right in his wheelhouse, and here it's like, oh my God, the pressure. And it's actually not any more difficult to hit a ball in the bottom of the 9th than it is in the middle of the season, except for the psychological side. The other part of the nerve-wracking is you're just not used to it because you're not in that many slam contracts. And the example I like to use here is, you're sitting in a staff meeting and something comes up and you just bring up the topic, but then you're worried another day, you're worried about your kids in their homework, and there's too much homework, and the school board is having a meeting to talk about it, and you stand up to talk at the school board and you're scared pootless, right? It's just a really uncomfortable situation. You're not used to it. So playing a slam is often easy, but it's nerve-wracking. So if you start feeling the nerves, just remind yourself it's often straightforward. Okay? A couple of comments about slams in general. Bidding and making a 6 contract is called a small slam, and there's a very big scoring bonus for doing that. And bidding and making 7 is called a grand slam, and there's a gigantic scoring bonus for doing that. A rule of thumb for no trump is that making 6 no trump between your 2 hands usually requires 33 high card points or so, and making 7 no trump usually requires about 37 high card points. These things don't happen very often. they're generally called slams that are based on power. You know, you just have so many high cards that it's overwhelming. Couple of the ones we looked at before relied a lot more on distribution. Slam in a suit is much more common. Remember that one I showed at the start that had the 6 spades and the 5 hearts
Mhm.
and the 2 singletons? That hand had only 10 high card points.
Wow.
And as it turned out, opener had 2 aces and the king of spades and 1 other card. One other, you know, just barely enough to have an opening bid. They had like 23 or 22 high card points, but it was an ice cold slam. So I'm not going to talk about this over on the side, but this is good reference. To make slam in a suit, you need a good trump suit, like we saw on that first hand. You need some source of tricks. Like in that hand, the heart suit was going to provide a bunch of tricks, and you were going to trump, you know, cross ruff. And you have to have controls. That's kind of the whole idea of the key card ask is you got to make sure that the opponents can't start out by taking the ace of clubs and the ace of diamonds. So what we're going to do today is focus on how do we ask partner if you've got the aces, the missing aces, and the potential missing king of trump. Okay, we ready to rock?
Yep.
We'll see that these 5 cards are called key cards, and that's what we're going to focus on. So before I talk about 1430, I thought I should just do kind of the real quick deal on power slams in no trump. They're pretty rare, and they're pretty easy to bid because you just do the arithmetic. So let's imagine partner opens 1 no trump, 15 to 17 balanced, and this is your hand. How many high card points do we see?
18.
18.
I count 18. So how much do we have between us?
33.
At least
30.
To 35.
35, yeah.
So where do we want to be?
Small slam, at
Small
least.
slam?
6 no trump. We just bid it. We don't goof around. It's just arithmetic. It's just arithmetic. Partner.
Wow.
Oh yeah, she who knows goes, right? Let's look at another one. How many high card points here?
50.
15. Suppose partner opens a club. Now you're thinking there are 2 questions to answer. 1, what suit? And 2, how high? And you have no idea what suit you're going to end up in. It looks like it might end up in no trump. But you're certain that you're going to be at least game.
Right.
Because you have 15 and partner open, right? So you've answered one of the questions. You've answered, we got to get to game. So you just start a nice quiet conversation by bidding 1 diamond. And then partner bids 2 no trump. Do we remember what that jump to 2 no trump shows?
18 to 19 points.
Yeah, it's 18 or 19 points. It's a hand that was too strong to just open 1 no trump. It got coined a tweener, right? It's too strong for 1 no trump, but not strong enough for 2 no trump. So you start with a suit, you listen to partner, and you jump to 2 no trump, and that shows 18 or 19. And we had 15, right? So how many total do we have?
33.
33 or 34. What do we bid?
Small
3 no
slam,
trump.
6 no trump.
6 no trump.
6 no trump. We got our 33 high card points, right? And partner opens 1 no trump, and we've got this one. So how many points do we see there?
17.
10, 16, 17.
Yeah, I
17.
got 17. So how many do we have between us?
33.
32 to 34. So over here, we had enough to go, right? And she who knows goes. What about over here? Do we know what to do?
No.
No.
Mm.
Not sure.
And when we're not sure, we ask partner to help. Right? So we bid for no trump. And what we're saying is, partner, if you're at the high end, bid 6. And if you're at the low end, pass. So this is all there is to bidding power slams in no trump. Just be courageous when you can add up to 33 or more. So now let's turn the attention to key cards like that very first hand that we looked at. And I'll show another example hand here. If you're going to play in a suit slam, like 6 spades or 6 diamonds or something like that, or 7 hearts, there's 5 cards that are super important. The 4 aces and the king of trump. You know, you'd like to be able to say, excuse me, opponents, I'm going to ask my partner how many aces she has and whether she has the king of trump. And the opponents say, well, no, thank you. So these cards are super important. They're called key cards. And let's look at an example. It's this is one that I made up, unlike the very first slide, which was essentially a real example. Suppose you hold this beautiful hand. You've got a running heart suit, right? You have 7 of them. No matter what happens, you can take 7 heart tricks, even if they go 6-0. And surprisingly, partner opens 1 spade. So if partner opens 1 spade, we know we've got a 9-card spade fit. And we'd be thrilled to play with spades as trump. And now let's just, again, think about it for a minute. Suppose that partner holds all 4 key cards, all 4 of the missing key cards. That's the ace of clubs, the ace of diamonds, the ace of spades, and the king of spades, the king of trump. Suppose partner has ace, 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 king. How many tricks are we going to take?
7.
So yeah, we're going to take 13 tricks. In fact, we can make 7 no trump, right? We can just count 13 tricks off the top. We don't even need to trump anything. Suppose partner has 3 key cards. So we're missing an ace, or maybe we're missing the king of spades. How many tricks are we going to make?
6.
Yeah, we're going to take 12 tricks. We're going to make 6 spades. In fact, if we're missing the king of spades and we try a finesse and it's onside, we'll make 7, but that's a little dicey. And if partner has 2 key cards,
You may not make a slam. 5.
yeah, in fact, what we're going to want to do is stop in 5. So what 1430, what the key card asks is going to help us do is know how many key cards partner has. And then we can decide to stop or to bid small slam, or once in a blue moon, bid a big slam, grand slam. And, you know, if partner only had 1 key card, then you only make 4. But, you know, you got to go for it. So we want to know how many key cards partner has. How do we do it? We use something that's called 1430. That's the shortcut everybody uses. Technically, it's called Roman key card Blackwood with 1430 responses. Just think 1430. So here's the idea. If one of you or your partner makes a sudden jump to 4-no trump, not the kind that was 1-no trump, 4-no trump, and fighting 6, but you're in the middle of a bidding thing in a suit, and one of you suddenly jumps to 4-no trumps, it says, partner, I'm interested in slam. Please tell me how many key cards you have. Right? So just like an original bid of 1-no trump translates to English, balanced 15 to 17, if you're bidding suits and one of you suddenly jumps to 4-no trump, it says, partner, please tell me how many key cards you have.
Phil, I have a question,
Uh-huh.
because I was going to ask that on that second slide. where, you said there was 1 no Trump and then the person jumped to 4 no Trump
Yep.
as an invitation to 6 no Trump. I wouldn't have read it that way. I would have read that they wanted Blackwood. mean,
Well,
I don't-
yeah. So let me answer that. That sequence is called a quantitative invitation. You do not want 4 no Trump in that sequence to mean asking for aces.
How
And
would I know that?
Let's talk about it at the break.
Well,
There's a different way to ask aces in a no Trump context, but it's beyond our scope right now.
Okay. Okay.
So if one of you suddenly jumps to 4 no Trump,
Excuse me, Phil, can I just interrupt?
Yeah.
That makes me think, maybe if people have questions, for some people, this slam bidding is completely new. And for others, it isn't. If people have more advanced questions, how about putting them in the chat? Actually, this is Allison's good idea. Put them in the chat to everyone, and then if Phil
I can
wants
answer
to-
them at the break.
okay. Okay. I have a question.
Is
what
it
I
a
just-
beginner question?
Well, okay. I thought I was asking a beginner question. That did not seem to me like a high level question. When a teacher's saying,
Okay,
It is a more advanced question. So, okay.
because
so-
we're just remember, some slam bidding is just brand new to some of
Yeah.
these folks.
Never
So-
heard of Blackwood.
And they never heard of Blackwood in a million years.
Yep.
How
So
would,
it's-
how would they?
So
Yeah.
a sudden jump to 4 no Trump says, partner, tell me how many key cards you hold. And partner has to respond with a bid, right? Partner can't just say, I have 3, right? So if partner has 1 or 4, partner bids 5 clubs. If partner has 3 or 0, partner bids 5 diamonds. And if partner has 2, and this is a nice little twist, if partner has 2 without the Queen of Trump, she bids 5 hearts. And if partner has 2 with the Queen of Trump, she bids 5 spades. So these are the responses. After the sudden jump to 4 no Trump, partner answers the question by saying 5 clubs. I have 1 or 4. It's usually pretty obvious. Or 5 diamonds. I have 3 or 0. So let's look at an example. Suppose partner opens 1 spade and you hold this hand. It's a lot like the situations we looked at before, right? All you really care about is the ace of spades, the ace of hearts, the ace of diamonds, and the ace of clubs. If partner's got all of them, you're going to place the contract in 7 spades or 7 no Trump. If partner has 3 of them, you're going to place the contract in 6 spades. If partner has 2 of them, you're going to stop. So let's look at how it might play out. So partner bids a spade, and you think, oh my gosh, partner opened. We're going to play in spades. How high? Probably slam. So you bid
4 no.
just out of the blue. You jump to 4 no Trump. And now partner, and I'm not showing her hand, I probably should have. Partner is going to answer your question. And let's suppose that partner bids 5 diamonds. What is partner telling you?
3 or 0 key cards.
She has 3 or 0 key cards. You hold the King of Trump, so it must be 3 or 0 aces. Do we think she has 0?
No.
I don't know how she could have an
No.
opening bid with.
No, she has 3.
Yeah, I mean, look at this hand. She's got to have 3. So what do you know? If partner has three aces, how
No.
many tricks are you gonna take in spades?
How do
Okay,
you
lose one for
know
sure.
that?
Well,
If
How-
partner has three aces, you're gonna lose one ace, and that's it.
mhm.
So you place the contract in six spades.
Yeah.
And there was a question that I couldn't quite hear. Can you try again?
Oh, yeah. In in 14,
Oops.
No,
We
Yeah,
can't hear.
I'm sorry, the audio's breaking up. I can't hear the
where
question.
did
Write it in chat.
yeah, write it in the
Yeah,
chat.
maybe write it in the chat.
you decide that?
Write it in the chat,
Okay,
sweetheart.
so there's a question in the chat that says, is 1430 different from Blackwood? And the short is 1430 different from Blackwood. The short answer is 1430 is a more advanced version of Blackwood. My parents taught me regular Blackwood, which just asked about aces. But I think it was Eddie Cantor decided, the king of trumps is really important. Let's figure how to ask for that as well. So anyway, this slide is 100% of what we need for today. But let's look at some examples. And why the heck do we call this thing 1430?
Yeah.
1430.
Or 1430? With 1 or 4, you bid clubs. And with 3 or 0, you bid diamonds. So the mnemonic is 1 or 4 clubs, 3 or 0 diamonds. That's where the mnemonic comes from.
And also from the scoring for a slam.
Yes, if you bid by coincidence, if you bid and make a vulnerable small slam in a major, you score 1430. It's coincidence. Okay, so let's look at another example. So partner is the dealer, and you're sitting here with this hand, and you're like, really happy. You got 17 high card points. You're planning to open 1 no trump. You expect it's going to start out with pass. But instead, partner bids a spade. So partner bids a spade. So what do we want to play in? What suit?
Spades. Probably spades.
Spades. Yeah, we've got an 8-card fit. How high?
We don't know yet.
At least game.
Game.
At least game. Right? At least
Right.
game. And we're thinking 17. If partner has 12 to open. If partner has just a little extra, maybe there's a slam. So
Mhm.
we just quietly bid 2 clubs, start slow, see what partner says, and then partner rebid spades. So what do we know now?
6 spades.
Six, a
Partner
six
has
card.
6 spades. So wow, it looks like we've got 6 spade tricks. In our own hand, this is at least 7, 8, 9. If partner has another ace, that's 10, 11. We got it just smells like slam. So let's ask. Partner has at least 6 spades. Let's ask about key cards. And partner bids 5 spades, which is saying
Two.
I have 2 key cards and I have the queen of trumps. So how many tricks could we possibly lose?
1.
1. There's a missing ace,
Or ace, yeah.
right? Partner's got the queen of trumps. Isn't that nice to know? And partner's got 2 of these 3 aces. So it sounds like we're gonna make 6 and we just bid it.
Can I ask you something, Phil?
Of course.
So that thing about key cards, that response bid, it's It's always in the trump suit?
No, it's,
Oh.
let me just flip back
I
real
thought you
quick.
said 5 hearts if,
Yeah.
oh, 5 diamonds. Okay.
It's 1, 4, 3, 0. So 1, 4, you bid 5 clubs. 3 or 0, you bid 5 diamonds. And then we've got,
About clubs or diamonds.
it has nothing to do with those suits.
That's right. Okay,
It's-
thank you.
It's just answering partner's question.
Yeah.
Partner is saying, how many key cards? And yours, 5 clubs says, I have 1 or 4. 5 diamonds says, I have 3 or 0.
Got it. Okay,
And,
thanks.
and then there's 2 more. These are called steps. The next 2 steps are I have 2 without the queen and 2 with
Right.
the queen.
Okay,
and-
thanks for showing that.
Well, thank you for asking. So in this
I would
particular,
like to know, and
Yeah.
this may be elementary, anyway, why, your partner opened 1 spade, why did I say 2 clubs?
well, you want to find out more about partner's hand.
Yeah.
So bidding 2 clubs means partner has to bid again and tell you
Keeps
some
it
more.
open, okay.
In, you know that you can play in at least 4 spades, but if you jump to 4 spades, what are you saying to partner?
That's it.
You're saying I have a weak freak.
Mm,
I have a 5-card spade support. I have a weak hand and I've got a singleton or a void somewhere. So you can't use the 4 spade bid to mean 2 different things. So we bid 2 clubs here. We don't give a hoot about clubs.
Right.
We wanna have a conversation with partner. And if what would it have meant if partner had rebid in no trump? That would have meant I got a balanced hand, I only have 5 spades. And we'd probably sign off in 3-0.
mhm.
Instead of 2 clubs, what about 2 no, though?
It all depends on your agreements. In standard American, I don't know what 2 no means because I don't play standard American anymore. I think in standard American that 2 no says I'm balanced. I don't have enough to go to 3 no, so I probably have 11 or 12. I'm inviting. And I don't have 3 spades. I can't support you. So 2 no would be an invitational bid saying I'm balanced with 11 or 12. So again, in this example, we went ahead and bid 6 spades. What if partner had responded 5
Hearts.
5 clubs? What would 5 clubs have meant?
1 or 4 key cards.
1 or 4 key cards.
1 or 4, that's a big difference.
It is, but let's take a look for a minute. We have 2 of the key
2.
cards.
Right.
No
Yeah.
way, it's 4.
So it's 1.
So partner can't have 4. We know it's 1.
It's 1.
So if it's 1, we're missing 2 aces.
Right.
How
And
do
if
we
we're
know
missing
it's
2
1?
aces, we would sign off in 5 spades.
How
We-
do we know it's
Ah.
1? Because you have an ace.
I'm
And you have the
sorry,
king
again?
of trump.
You already have 2.
Can't be 4 because you have 2.
Right.
And they're only
It
5.
can't
only
be 4
5.
because you have 2.
Right.
Right? So if partner said 5, and I should have put this on the slide, if partner said 5 clubs, 1 or 4, you know it's 1. And you have to stop. So you bid 5 spades and partner will pass because you've become the captain of the team here.
And Phil,
Yes,
to go to 4 no trump, do you ever like count your points and you want to have like between 29 and 30 or?
the short story is that the best way to think about it is keep the 33 in mind. Later, you'll learn that highly distributional hands, you can do it with less. But what you should be thinking is, are we in the ballpark with like 33? So you have 17, partner open, so she's got 12. So you've got at least 29. If partner has anything extra, you might have slam. And the value of this bid is to tell you, hey, it's safe, we can bid slam. Or to say, if partner said 5 clubs, it would be, uh-oh, we're missing 2 aces. I'm going to stop at the 5 level. Was that helpful, Mark?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll just add there, Mark, because Phil made a really good point on this hand. And I think Lindy asked the question, why would you bid 2 clubs here, knowing that your suit's going to be spades? You do want a chance to give partner to show extra, because what if it went 1 spade, 2 clubs, 3 spades showing 18? Well, now you know you're asking, right?
Yeah.
So the 2 spades should be like, hey, I got my minimum opener. I got 6 spades. And if you had only 15 points, you'd just say, hey, I'm nowhere near. If you can't do something spectacular, we're not even inquiring about the slam. So you want to use the lower level conversation to ferret out whether you have the 33 to ask. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, this is another example. It's an ice cold 30 high card point slam. Oh, here's the one. Sometimes you stop short of slam. So partner opens a club. And what do we bid?
A spade?
Yeah. Yeah. So 2 questions. Do we know what suit we're going to end up in?
No.
No. Do we know how high?
No.
No.
How many high card points do we have?
Well,
6.
12. No,
No more.
13, 14.
Yeah, I count 14.
Yeah,
And partner
14,
made
yeah.
an opening bid, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you have
So-
a game.
So we know we want to be in game, but we've got to have a conversation to figure out where. So we just start by bidding a spade. And suppose partner bids 4 spades.
Ooh.
We've only promised 6 points, right?
Yes.
We've only promised 6 points. And they bid game, which requires 25, 26. So they must have at least 19-ish. And what did we have? We had 14, right? What's 19 and 14?
33.
33. Well, what the heck? Partner doesn't know that we've got way more than the 6 we promised. Why don't we ask partner about key cards? And I should change this hand for a technical.
So you go 4 no? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you bid 4 no. We might have slam, so I'll check for key cards. And suppose partner says 5 diamonds. Oops, I should have had that green thing not come up yet.
Yeah.
So 5 diamonds is
Not slam.
1, 4,
3.
3 or 0.
3, 0.
3 or 0. Do we think partner could possibly have 0?
Probably not.
She
No, she
showed
would be
19
0.
points.
Well, and the other thing too is between you know you have at least 33 points. And for the opponents to have 2 aces, they'd have to have 8 points in total, which would mean that you would have to have only 32.
Oh.
And in fact, in this hand, how many key cards do you hold? 0.
0.
But partner has shown 3 or 0. So suppose partner has 3. It's pretty reasonable. Must be
Yeah.
3. How many key cards are we missing?
2.
2. Do we think we're going to make slam?
No.
No.
No. They've got 2 aces, or they've got an ace and the king of trump. So we just say rats and we stop.
Oh,
And that's the purpose of the 1430 bid, is you think you've got slam and you just want to do a quick disaster check. Are we missing 2 key cards? And maybe this was partner's hand. Partner has a lovely hand. You know, jumping to 4 spades, I think is a very reasonable bid, but you're missing the 2 red aces.
Yeah.
So you stop in 5 spades. This is a book that I love. It's not a beginner book, but I love the subtitle: How to Beat Good Slams and Avoid Bad Ones. And the biggest thing about 1430 is it helps you avoid bad slams. Like on that last hand, if you just say, oh my gosh, we got 33 points, I'll bid 6 spades, and then they take 2 aces. It's like, oops. So 1430 is like a double check.
Can you put that slide up that has, 0 to 1 bid this, and I want
Yeah.
to take a picture of it.
Yeah. Oh, let me do that at the break. And you
Oh,
can
okay.
take a picture so I don't have to back all the way up. Is that okay,
Oh,
Kaya?
okay. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So sometimes you stop short of slam, and this is a great book. You'll learn to smell a slam. Partner opens 1 heart, and I'm going to show you several different hands, each one of which has 16 high card points. And I want you to look at the hands and tell me which ones smell like slam. Partner opens a heart. Does this smell like slam?
Yes.
Yeah, no kidding. If partner has the ace king of hearts, we're golden in the trump suit, and we're going to be able to rip off run all these diamond tricks, right? So that definitely smells like slam. This has 16 high card points as well. Does this smell like slam?
No.
Not yet. If partner bids strongly, maybe you get a whiff.
You can't even support her hearts.
Right. Over here, you knew hearts and you had a million tricks, right? And over here, maybe you're going to end up in
7 hearts.
With this little hand.
Right, because you might not even want hearts to be trump.
Yeah. So let's give partner this minimum opener. Okay. Opposite the first hand, I think we're making 6. Right? We're going to call trump and take all our diamond tricks. And, maybe they'll take the first club trick, maybe not. What about with this hand over here? Oy. Maybe we'll make 3 no trump. So each hand, it's not just about high card points. You'll learn to smell when you have the potential to take a lot of tricks. So.
Phil?
Yes.
What about dummy points? Do we count those here?
Yes. Let me make a couple of comments. So first of all, this diamond suit is somehow worth way more than 10 points, right? Second thing is we're supporting partners, so we could add 3 for shortness for the singleton and another one for the doubleton probably. So that hand is much more powerful. I guess the point is it's not just about high card points. It's about whether you see there's a fit and whether you have a source of tricks. Good question. So
Because if you didn't have that one small card in that one suit, you don't need the ace. If that club wasn't there.
right, if you were void, then bidding is way harder. And we're covering a whole topic here in just 50 minutes or something like that. I have two cautions about using 1430. If you have a small doubleton in a suit, don't use 1430. Because you may find out, oh, we're only missing 1 key card. But it turns out that key card is the ace of that suit, and they also have the king of that suit. And they start out by taking 2 tricks. So if you have a small doubleton in a side suit, you don't want to bid 1430. And the other time, oh yeah, so here's an example. Tons of high card points, right? But you're missing the ace king of hearts. And if either person bids 1430, they find out they're only missing one key card and they have the queen of trump and they're thrilled, but the bad guys can take 2 tricks in hearts. So don't use this wonderful tool if you have a small doubleton somewhere.
And a small doubleton, you mean like low doubleton?
Well, I did this on purpose. For the purpose of slam bidding, the queen is small. It's a great question. I should have said that more specifically. The classic language is don't bid 1430, don't bid Blackwood if you have a small doubleton in a side suit, but really the queen is small if you're trying to take 12 tricks. And don't use 1430 if you have a void. So I put some question marks over here, and let's imagine that we are in a key card auction and you're looking, they open spades and you ask key cards and partner says, I have 2 key cards. Well, if it's the ace of spades and the ace of diamonds, you're golden. If it's the ace of spades and the ace of clubs, you're golden for 6. If it's the 2 minor aces, you're golden for 6. But if one of partner's aces is the ace of hearts, then you're missing 2 aces in these other suits. So if you have a void, 1430 doesn't give you the answer you need. So these, when we do this in about 6 months, these will stick a little better. And the only other topic really to talk about is which suit is trump regarding the king and the queen. And the answer is it's usually pretty obvious. It's an agreed upon suit. Like the contract, the bidding we saw that went a club, a spade, 4 spades. Okay, we've agreed on spades. If somebody bids 4-no trump, they're asking key cards. Oh, there's another auction, a club, a spade, two spades. We've agreed on spades. 4-no trump is asking key cards with spades as the trump suit. So it's asking about the 4 aces and the king of spades. In this one, it goes a diamond, a club, a diamond, a heart, 4 hearts. 4-no trump. Well, we've agreed on hearts, right? So it's asking about hearts. 1 heart, a limit raised to 3 hearts, showing 11 or 12 with 4 card support. 4-no trump. We've agreed on hearts. It's asking about hearts. And we looked at a couple of examples. Sometimes it's not obvious because one of you just has this crazy monster hand, like the very first one we looked at and some others that we looked at. If it's not obvious, the best agreement, I think, is that it's the last bid suit. And we looked at an auction that went like this: 1 spade, 4-no trump. You're asking key cards in spades. 1 club, 1 heart, 4-no trump. You're asking about key cards with hearts as trump. 1 club, 1 diamond, 1 heart, 4-no trump. You're asking about key cards with hearts as the trump suit. And I don't expect you to memorize any of this stuff. You'll try 1430 at the table. You'll blow it a couple of times. You know, that's how I learn conventions is, oh, rats.
Does it ever get just natural?
Yes. It'll take about a year.
Lindy, I keep a little cheat sheet.
Yeah, you bet.
And I see we're up to 5 o'clock. So this was a really fun hand, but I'm going to let you look at it in the I'm going to let you look at it in the printed version. So here's the 10% to remember. A power slam in no trump requires about 33 high card points to make 6 or 37 to make 7. And in this situation, it's one of these she who knows goes. 1 no trump, 6 no trump. 1 no trump, 4 no trump, asking, do you have a min or a max? And then opener either bids 6 or passes. Dana and I had a sequence over the weekend where I had 16 high and she opened a no trump. And so I bid 4 no. And she had 15, so she passed. We played 4 no trump and we made 4. Suit slams often depend on aces and the king of trump, and those are called the 5 key cards. And a jump to 4 no trump is how you ask, how many key cards do you have? And here are the responses. And in fact, Kaya, this is probably the slide you want to take.
Yeah, I just did.
Oh, good.
Took a picture, yeah.
Okay, so there's some good best E-bridge exercises. I don't think we'll have time to do them, but we'll go to our Zoom rooms and play some shark bridge hands. So let's stop the recording. I'll stop sharing screen, and then I'm happy to answer questions during the break.